Welcome, everybody. We are super excited to have you in the Interactive Quarantine meeting number 7. We will have amazing speakers today. Let's start with the Interact Fadas Lighthouse Club of Alexandria, Egypt.
And because people weren't taking it seriously, they weren't taking the precautions, they were belittling the topic. So we did a lot of things. One of them was telling people what, how, and why. What as in what to do and what not to do. How as in how to do it. Why as in why they should do it. I didn't want to bore you, so I'm not going to put the whole thing, but I'm going to show you a peek. This here. This was what to do and what not to do. What mostly what to touch and what not to touch, like where to touch the masks, why shouldn't you put your hands and stuff. But preferably don't touch anything. We didn't do. We also went down in the streets with signs and told people more about COVID because we didn't distribute masks because we could just give the people the masks and then they will throw it away or put it in their pockets. It's better to educate them. Now I'm going to talk to you about our Ramadan projects. Ramadan is an Islamic holy month. We fast for 30 days straight. We fast from 3 to 4 a.m. till like 6 to 7 p.m. So Interact and Rotary Forest Lighthouse hosts something called Ma'idat al-Rahman every year. Ma'idat al-Rahman is when you host an iftar. Iftar is breaking your fast, your fasting. So we put a set of tables somewhere, and somewhere we were known. They know that we put these tables here everywhere, and we serve food and drinks and stuff, and all poor people from everywhere, they gather there and have their meals every day for the whole month. But unfortunately, we couldn't do this year because of the pandemic and the coronavirus and all this stuff. So instead, we joined a campaign with all the Interacts and Rotaracts of Alexandria called من خيرك لغيرك, which means from your goodness to others. In this campaign, each Interactor and Rotaractor cooked in their own houses, and then a team went and collected all the food and all the Ramadan traditional food and drinks, and they distributed it to the poor villages and the places that not everybody can reach. We tried to reach them, and thank God it was a success. And it was great seeing the smiles and everybody happy, and yes, it was great. But I wanted to say there are public figures and influencers who helped us with the campaign. So I wanted to say their names. I can't say all of them because they were a lot, but I'm going to say some names and what they do. So this is Ahmed Al-Haridi, stand-up comedian. Hadir Khalil, makeup instructor. Farah Kamel, Miss Egypt 2017, Miss Asia 2017. Angel Ngebawi, fashion blogger. I don't know why it stopped working. Something happened. Okay, Mahmoud Surur, graphic designer. Mustafa Nahas, doctor. Rania Wasfi, blogger. She's such an inspiring human being. She does everything. She does great. Lujaina Salah, beauty expert. She isn't just a beauty expert. She is also an influencer, and she's one of my favorites. There's also something I wanted to mention. I couldn't put it in the presentation because I didn't have time because it's in the works as we speak. This project is for Eid al-Adha. Eid al-Adha is an Islamic holiday. In this holiday, we try to spread joy and happiness and try to give them. It's kind of like Thanksgiving, but we don't just thank God for the things we have. We also try to give the things we have to others. So yes, and we have this sunnah where we eat sheep meat, and we try to give it to sacrifice sheep and give it to the poor so they can try eating the meat. So Interact Forest Lighthouse decided to give money, meat, clothes, toys, and candy to all the orphanages in need and to the poor villages. And we sacrificed 3 sheep on the first day of the holiday, and we also donated it to the orphanages. I just thought this had to be mentioned since we're talking about the community service projects that worked and that were a success. Okay, so now I'll walk you through how our club operates and how we do what we do. An Interact Forest Lighthouse cooperation plus love equal everything. Because I say this because all of this, everything I said, everything we have been doing all this time couldn't have been possible if our members weren't cooperative and if we didn't love each other. Because every organization and every place in the world has problems, faces difficulties. but I'm proud of us because we always manage to put them away and keep on the good work and keep on being a team. So I'd like to thank each Interact Forest Lighthouse board member, guest, and trainee for being who they are and for making all of this happen. A lot of them are in here actually, so thank you guys for being who you are. I didn't want to say a lot of stuff because I didn't want to bore you, but that's pretty much it. So if anybody has any questions or if anybody wants to say anything, please do.
Thank you, Sarah. We will love to read the questions in the chat. If anybody have any questions, this is the moment to ask her. That's such an amazing project. We'll move on with our next Interact Club speaker, who is from the Interact Club of Chicago, here in the US, District 6450. Her name is Rikita Tudmila. She's the president of the Interact Club, and you are welcome to share your screen right now and start your presentation.
Okay. So this is our service project. It's called the Combating COVID Service Project and done by the Interact Club of Chicago. So I am Rithika Tadmilla. I'm 16 years old and the president of the Interactive Club of Chicago. And our club is actually 1 year old, so we're a pretty new club. So that means that anything that we do right now that we're going to show you that anyone can do. And that, which is a little bit of organization and cooperation, anyone can do anything that they put their minds to. So what did we do exactly? So our club donated homemade masks to our local nursing home, the Foster Health and Rehabilitation Center, to battle COVID-19 during the quarantine. So why did we start this project? COVID-19, with 4.19 million cases and 148,000 deaths, COVID is a serious and growing problem in the USA. There is a lack of personal protective equipment in hospitals and nursing homes, which is even worse because the elderly are more likely to have underlying health conditions, which makes them vulnerable. Since COVID is the most deadly in nursing homes, we will make the greatest impact if we donated there. Here is a couple of statistics to show how serious COVID is in the Americas. So the number of COVID cases in the USA are rising exponentially. And our particular area, which is Cook County, has the most cases in the state of Illinois. This is a picture of the nursing home that we are donating to, the Foster Health and Rehabilitation Center. Okay, so the next section is going to be about the process of organizing the service project. And here is the following process is a series of steps in which we followed, and you can follow as well. First was target, recruit, connect, create a timeline, gather resources, delegate, and execute. So for our target, how did we choose where to donate? We chose to donate at the Foster Health and Rehabilitation Center because we couldn't donate to hospitals as they specifically requested N95 masks, which are expensive and we don't have the money to raise that much masks. And the only homeless shelters and nursing homes accept homemade masks. So we could only donate to one of those two places. So how many masks did we donate? We donated 75 because it was requested by the center. And we also wanted to start small, as we only had a couple of members. We didn't have a very big base because we were new. And it would be more fun for the club to make masks rather than fundraising for them, and we had a limited amount of resources. And when we finished this project by May 30th, 2020, the start time was the beginning of May, and 1 month was enough time to finish. The earlier we could finish, the less spreading of COVID, and the utility of homemade masks were going down as time went on, because a lot of stores were selling pre-made masks, and it's better if we started making these masks as early as possible so they would be the most useful. Okay, next step is recruiting. We gauge interest. We created a form to ask members of their interest and preferences, and we make sure there are enough people to carry out the goal, and we secured 9 participants in total. We advertised, we made attractive posters, flyers, and social media posts, and we share information on a document. And we also used Google Classroom to tell our members about the importance of protecting the elderly from COVID. This is a picture of the advertisement that we use in order to gain interest. Okay, sorry about this. Okay, then we connected and reached out with our clubs. We reached out with the Foster Health and Rehabilitation Center to determine the dates they expected the masks by and their standards. They wanted them individually packaged with ties, and we contacted Rotary One, or our local Rotary Club of Chicago, and they agreed to transport materials from the participants' houses and deliver the final package to the nursing homes. They agreed to help pay for the materials, and we made contact with them throughout the duration of the project. So creating a timeline is essential in order to make your own project stay realistic and on track. We started gauging interest and advertising with Google Forms to start the club and sending flyers on social media starting May 5th. May 11th, we had interest forms due and ordered materials from Amazon. And May 14th to 18th, we cut fabric. May 19th to 25th, the sewers were making the homemade masks. May 26th to 28th, we had packagers package the complete masks and create sealable plastic bags. And on May 29th, the Rotary One transporters delivered the 75 finished masks to the Foster Health and Rehabilitation Center. The 5th step is to gather resources. We ordered most of our materials from Amazon through the budget that the Rotary Club of Chicago provided us. And we ordered these fabric sheets called fat quarters. We ordered satin ribbon, filters, sealable plastic bags, pipe cleaners, and paper inflammation slips that were going to be printed separately. All these materials were delivered to one location, then transported to the participants' houses. And this is a picture of the information slip that we put with the masks in order for the users to know how to remove them, wash them, and insert filters. The next step is to delegate for the jobs. So we had 5 different jobs, and each of these were going to be distributed among the month. So first was cutting mask material, and then also cutting tie material. Then sewing masks with a sewing machine or by hand. We had 2 different designs that the participants could use. So if they had less or more experience, then they could choose whichever video they wanted. And we also had mask packagers, which placed the completed masks, extra filters, and uses instruction sheets into sealable plastic bags. And we also had transporters who picked up the materials to and from houses to the final destination. And these transporters were mainly composed of our local Rotary Club. So we also reached out with them, and they were transporting our stuff. And then finally, we have execute. We follow the timeline. We ordered materials early on based on the order of our process was cutting, sewing, packaging, and then delivering. And each sewer made about 15 masks because we had 5 sewers, and we allotted a realistic amount of time. And there's a couple of issues that cropped up. When we cut the fabric, we had smaller pieces of fabric left over, so to reduce waste, we tried sewing the masks from the half pieces, and we ended up having less fabric than we needed, so some members needed to buy their own materials. And here is a couple of pictures of our project. Here is the sewing process, the packaging process. And here are a few completed masks, and below is the packaging process of the masks. We have the information sheets and plastic bags that are going to be packaged in the filters. So here are some of the takeaways. Service projects traditionally completed in groups. This one would originally have been completed in groups, so we have like an assembly line. It can also be done socially distanced. So like anything that you think cannot be done, like in the socially distanced era, like it still can be done if you just try to be creative enough. And communication is more important than ever, especially in the digital age, because you need to be able to respond quickly to your to inquiries made by your other group members. Social media is an essential tool in gaining membership, and connecting with Rotary and other resources is essential in order to gain support and make sure that your club can successfully complete its service projects. And always order materials early when on a timeline in order to make sure that the materials come on time and your service project is not delayed. Here is the impact on our community. There were 29 COVID cases in the Foster Health and Rehabilitation Center when we donated to them, and our donation was able to help combat its spread. We helped keep the nurses and other patients healthy, which positively impacted their families. And also for our club, we helped further connect the Rotary One Club and our Interact Club, and members could gain new skills and nurture their dedication to service. And here is a picture of the Foster Rehabilitation Center getting our masks and a nurse stepping outside to receive them. Yeah, that's it.
I'm impressed with your level, excuse me, I'm impressed with your level of organizational process detail. That's very impressive.
Thank
You're very
you.
detail oriented with your pros and cons, almost like a SWOT analysis of your project as you went. It's very good.
So if anybody have any questions to them, this is the moment to ask them in the chat. And it's really amazing to see how they do everything so well organized. I think we can learn from that and we can start to organize our projects as well.
We have a question from Roberto.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Roberto Silva, immediate past district governor, District 4340, Chile. It's amazing. It's a master's degree, project organization, process, administration, finance, everything. Congratulations, Rithika. Just that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So if anybody has any other questions, you can either raise your hand or ask them in the chat. This is the moment to the speaker, which is from Chile, District 4340, from the Interactive Club Satellite Araucarias. I believe that I'm pronouncing that correctly. I hope, because I speak Spanish. And yeah, so we have Martina Jimenez, who is member of the membership committee of her Interact Club in Chile. So I'm gonna share the screen right now because I have her presentation and we will start with her. Thank you, Martina, for coming. And you're welcome to start now.
I can see the screen yet. Oh, there's it. Okay. So good morning and afternoon to every one of you. My name is Martina, as Dani said, and I'm a member of Interact Club Araucarias. And first of all, I want to say before I start to present that the projects that we realized in the past 2 months are the ones that I'm going to present. Next slide, please. Okay, so this was the first that we worked on since the pandemic first came out. It consisted on the donation of 200 diapers, wet towels, and hygienic supplies such as clinical soups, shampoos, and so forth, to the Calvo Maquina Hospital, which is named there. It's a well-known hospital which is located in Santiago, the capital of Chile. And this donation went to the children with cancer and the kids who needed a bone marrow transplant. They were just 1 to 5 years old, so they were just kids. So the way that we obtained the resources were through Interactors donations and help coming from the government. Oh, and there is the next slide. Okay, So after that, we participated on a communal pot, which consisted on the donation of 354 delivery servings, equivalent to 1 week of lunches. We donated pastas, tomato sauces, rice, jam, and so on. All those who live in the village were and are able to ask for their lunches. We obtained the resources through Interactors donations and the sponsor club. Next slide, please. Okay, in our last project that in this month, we regarded 50 kilos of flour and donated to a woman who bakes bread for the people who lives in the village, called Las Americas, and the members of the Elders Club. Luckily, we obtained the flour through a donation from Pioneer Rotary Club. So here comes my conclusion, and I didn't want to write it because I'd rather to say this in a more spontaneous way, and it's kind of emotional too. So I know that this has been difficult and hard times for everyone here and the ones out there, but I firmly believe that this will make us stronger, a lot stronger. Even though the virus is out there, we must keep going out, helping the ones who need it. That's why I choose the title Facing Coronavirus, because that is what we are all doing here every single day. And that was my presentation. It was kind of short, but I appreciate your attention. And please, if you have any question, just ask it. That's it.
Awesome, Martina. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was awesome.
Excellent project serving people in need in your community.
Yeah. So this is a moment to ask questions. You're welcome to raise your hand or ask them in the chat. Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, this Interact Club was chartered during my term as governor, and I'm very, very proud of what they're doing. The Interact Club, the satellite club Araucarias, and their counselor, Alejandra. It has been, first, let me tell you something, the hospital they're helping, it's called Luis Calvo Maquena, probably a name you don't know, but he was one of the first governors of District 4340 in late 1932, more or less. So in the entrance, there's a monument remembering Dr. Calvo Maquena from Rotary. So it's a special, and it's a very, very important hospital for cancer kids with cancer. Second, they have done a lot of projects. This Interact Club has probably 1, 2, 3 projects each month. They're really hyperactive, and just want to thank them for what they have done in the last term and what they're doing now. So thank you a lot to Interactive Quarantine to let them be here. And I'm very, very proud of them. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Annie. And Martina, you did it great.
Yes, thank you all.
It's awesome to have the support of Rotarians like you as district governors and leadership in the district like you. Like, we really appreciate that, Mr. Roberto. I'm sorry, I have like the Englishship with me. I said Robert. All right, so we will keep going, and we have our last Interact speaker before Raquel gets started, and is from Romania. We have the Interact Club Anteneu from District 2241, Romania, and we have the Public Relations Art Agent right here. Her name is Irina Grigore, and we are so excited to hear about the projects.
Yes, thank you so much. So first of all, before beginning, I would like, and my club would like to sincerely congratulate the previous Interact clubs that presented their project, because they were so great and so inspiring. And I will start to share my screen in a few seconds. So again, before digging in to the project and talking about what our club did during the quarantine, I'd like to say a big hello to everybody, to the distinguished Interact clubs, to the members of the Rotary clubs districts that are present at this conference, and a big hello to Mrs. Raquel Juncal. On behalf of the Interact Ateneum Club, I would like to sincerely thank the Rotary Interactive Quarantine for inviting us at its 7th conference. There are no words that can describe how grateful and honored our club is with the occasion of participating in this project. And the Rotary Connects the World motto is once again a reality because of you. My name is Irina Grigore. I'm a 16 years old, soon-to-be junior in high school in Romania, and I'm also an Interact Ateneum club member for almost a year, and I currently occupy the position of PR agent. Being the speaking representative of my Interact at this conference overjoys me not only as a PR agent, but also as a person, as a human being. And being at an event with Interact clubs from USA, Egypt, and Chile, and the president of the Rotary E-Club of Silicon Valley is not only a dream come true, but also one of the greatest opportunities our Interact club could ever have. Interact Ateneum was founded in 2013, and this year, before the quarantine, we occupied our time with recruiting new members and with the recruitment projects. And now, without further ado, I'm going to start the presentation of my club's activity during quarantine. So, the first activity that we would like to present, it's the fundraiser that we organized at the beginning of the quarantine. This is the banner, this is the poster that we published on social media for our fundraiser. And in order to say a short story about how it all began. So ever since the quarantine was imposed, all members have been thinking about what events we can do to help people. And since we couldn't organize events that were located in a specific location or with the persons, public events, we thought that the best thing to do is to organize an online fundraiser. Over the years, we have donated money to the association Give Life, through which we learned that we have the possibility to make our own campaign. We entered their website and created our own campaign that we called Help Us Donate, as you can see in the poster. To which we donated 8,000 lei. This is a huge number for us, and we were amazingly surprised to see that so many people and friends of the club were so interested and were so great partners in helping the hospitals of Romania combat the crisis. We edited some pictures and a short message, then posted them on our social media channels and accounts. And of course, through them, we try to encourage our followers to donate. The campaign, as I previously stated, was a success because we managed to donate such a large amount to hospitals in the fight against COVID-19. This is another poster that we uploaded on social media related to our campaign. Here you can see written in Romania, unde poți dona, this meaning where you can donate. Because when we created our online fundraising campaign, we wanted to provide as many NGOs or foundations involved in the hospital donations with help from our club and our friends. This is why we made sure that all the interested persons know where they have to donate or what NGOs, foundations they can help. And in the next slide, or in the next two slides, there are going to be posters with the foundations, associations, NGOs that benefited from our help during the fundraiser. For example, the Red Cross, the Save the Children, and the Give Life Association. Also, the Cherish Life Foundation, the Declic Foundation, and the Zi de Bine Association. These are Romanian associations that are extremely dear to our heart because we always help them with through the project that we organize, we always help them with donations. Together with our online fundraiser, we also wanted to provide our community and the people that were following us on social media a personalized short guide in order to help them better know how to protect themselves during that very insecure period of time. So since our Interact Club and the community we have created around it are very close, we really wanted to do this. So a few examples of tips, advices that we wanted to give to our community were the ones presented in this poster. They are written in Romanian, but we have here on the slide the translation in English. So the first one was donează, which means donate. The second one was stay home and convince the other to do it. And another one was try not to panic. We also transmitted to our followers the message to always get informed only from safe and secure sources, to check the credibility of their sources and to not spread the rumors. And the fundraiser and Interact Ateneum guide for staying safe are kind of they form a package from the same project. And now moving on, we are going to present to you the Interact Ateneum guide for a fun quarantine, because we constantly receive messages and our members constantly realized that during quarantine at home they were getting extremely bored, and we thought that it would be a great idea to create once again a personalized guide in order to give some ideas of some fun ideas and doable ideas at home. So yes, as stated, written here in the slide, as the days in the quarantine continue to pass, everybody getting bored at home, our club decided to make an Instagram fun quarantine guide with 32 ideas of activities that are both entertaining and doable in the house. A few suggestions were starting to play an instrument, doing calligraphy, organizing a family movie night, or learning a new language, or cooking. We have in the following slides all of the ideas, and we really hope that you are going to like them and maybe put them in practice during the summer vacation. Also, hundreds of people reached these Instagram stories, and we really hope that they were as helpful as possible. This guide was posted on our Instagram Insta stories, and this was the first post. It was made with a very good looking and fun Instagram story filter. And as you can see, it says Interact Ateneum, what should I do in quarantine? And a lot of, okay, so I'm really bored right now messages, because it really expressed the way we were feeling during quarantine. These are a few ideas, and they're all written in Romanian, but I will translate them to you shortly. So a few of our suggestions were: do something new, start a diary, a blog, play an instrument, like an old instrument that maybe you gave up upon, or try to play an instrument for the first time. As I said, do calligraphy or write a haiku poem. Be original and create a puzzle, or learn to resolve the Rubik cube. Play board games, or learn a new language, read a book, listen to old or new or your favorite music. Paint, draw, do DIYs, find out new general culture notions, or be up to date with the news every day. Here in Romania, we are very passionate about the BuzzFeed quizzes. They're really fun to us, and this is a form of online entertainment. So of course, one of our suggestions was resolve BuzzFeed quizzes and read the BuzzFeed facts, because they're very fun and entertaining. Or also keep in touch with your loved ones by meeting on Skype, FaceTime, or house party. Be fit and do workout, aerobics, yoga, cardio exercises. dance and discover a new dance style, meditate, do skincare, and treat yourself. And our last series of suggestions for a fun quarantine includes watching new or old movies, the most awarded ones, the most criticized ones, watch series, as I previously said, organize a family movie night, or start cooking, learn more about fashion. And this is the second project that our club Interact Ateneum did during quarantine. Now moving on, I would like to present a few projects that we didn't do in quarantine, but we started to plan them as hard as possible during quarantine. Because, for example, we started organizing the first Interact Model United Nations Conference in Romania and Europe, because we actually came up with the idea a few weeks before the quarantine, and we said that it would be much better for us to plan everything during quarantine, and when we will be able to organize this event in real life, to already have everything planned and just to contact and do what we could do in real life. So without further ado, I present you the Interact Model United Nations conference by Interact Ateneum. This is the poster of our conference. And as I said, Interact Ateneum founded this year the very first Model United Nations conference in Romania and Europe that has a partnership with an Interact club. So it has a direct partnership, is directly created by an Interact club. The conference is called Interact MUN, as you can see, and it has not only the purpose to raise awareness upon the world's most concerning issues, but also to unite as many Interact clubs as possible in order to spread the Rotary values. As I previously stated, we planned most of the things during quarantine, and we really hope to host Interact MUN in winter or spring of 2021. Here we have the logo of Interact Model United Nations. It is a combination between the United Nations symbol, flag, and our symbol, which is the Romanian Athenaeum. The Romanian Athenaeum is a building and historical monument in Bucharest, in downtown Bucharest, and it's like a music opera house where people go to listen orchestras and classical music. It is amazing. It has an amazing architecture, and since our club is named the Interact Ateneum, of course we used this building in our logo. Yes, this was our third project during quarantine, and I would like to also present to you the recruitments for professional graphic designers and photographers that we did during quarantine, because since in our club there is always room for improvements, and since we were creating our event posters using apps for amateurs, we decided to get the Interact Ateneum Club to the next level of professionalism by recruiting professional photographers and graphic designers that were also high schoolers like us. This is the poster that we used on social media in order to announce people interested that we are doing recruitments for these two great positions. And as you can see, these are pictures from our meetings. These are our members. This picture is a very special picture to us because it represents our first meeting from 2020 with the Rotaract Club of Ateneum. And yes, after recruiting 2 professional photographers and 1 professional graphic designer, we are more than happy to share our new content with you. And the last project, which was also planned during quarantine, not put in practice, was the Interact Ateneum Fashion Show. Our most passionate about style, fashion, makeup, and modeling members worked and are still working together really hard to make this event a memorable one. Already obtaining a location offer, a huge donation for the cause, and last but not least, a collaboration with Romanian designers, which are really talented. And we can't wait to have someday the occasion to present the fashion show in real life as we have the same expectations for the Interact Model United Nations Conference. And without further ado, this was our activity during quarantine. So we had this fundraiser and the guide for staying safe, the guide for having a fun quarantine. We planned a considerable part of the Model United Nations Conference and fashion show, and we did the recruitment for professional photographers and graphic designers. And once again, without further ado, thank you so much for your attention. And here there are the Interact Ateneum contact. Yes, thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Irina.